Hey everyone, in this video we will talk about why it's super important to keep your server code in a separate from your client side code in modern JavaScript app. I will show you how a smart solution using a server only package that can prevent accidental mistake during development. So let's get started. Let us understand what is server only code and why we have to keep that code in a separate from the server client side code. So here you can see that in today's full stack JavaScript application, especially with frameworks like NextJs, some code is meant to be run exclusively on the server. Think about it. Function that deals with environment variables, modules that communicate directly with the database, code that process sensitive business logics, or use backend library not meant for the browser. So the problem arises since JavaScript module can often be shared between client and server. There is a risk that server only code might accidentally end up on the client side, and that is dangerous. What are the consequences? You have to see that it bloat your JavaScript bundle. It might expose your secret keys. It can leak database query and internal logic. So that's why it is super important to clearly separate server-only code from client-side logic. Use file structure or naming convention like server.js or special file folders like API or server. Rely on tools or framework that support automatic code splitting of server client boundaries. So, what is the solution to this problem? If we don't, what are the solution to this problem? So, server-only packages are designed to throw a big time error if someone accidentally try to import server code into a client component. So, the solution to this is a server-only package. So, these packages are designed in a way so that it can throw a big time error if someone had include or import server code on a client component. This acts as a safety net, ensuring server logic stays on the server, sensitive code is never exposed to the browser, and your app remains secure, optimized, and professional. Let me show you an illustration or example so that you can easily understand what I want to show you and what I want to mean. So let's move on to the Visual Studio Code. So here you can see that this is a file structure, and in this I will just to illustrate how the server code can be kept separate from the client side code using the server only package. So first of all, we can create two separate folders, one for the server code and second for the client code. Okay, for that I can create a folder inside the app that creating a folder with the name server route, and inside that I can create a page.tsx. In this we can create export default function, server route, page. Inside I can return a statement of h1 tag. Inside h1 tag I can write it as server route. Okay, server route. Now same as this I have created the server route, we also creating a client route for the same. So let's create a new separate folder for that. I can create a client route with the name client route to it, and inside that I can create a page.psx and just copy the code from the server to the client and rename to it so that our time saves client route page, and inside that I have written as client in place of server. Now we have two separate routes, one for the client and another for the server side. Now let's create a util package which contain the server code things, and after that we see how we can implement both on the server and the client side. So let's create a separate folders. Go to the source, create a utils folders, and inside that create a new file with the name server utils.ts, server util.ts. And already made a code for this. Here you can see that here you have a server side function which act like a code which are running on the server side. In this you have I'm just making control log statement in which we have multiple libraries like npm. We are using environment variable, interact with the database, process confidential information. So all the information inside the control.log belong to the server side work. So and after that we can just return the server result. So let's implement this server side function on the server side first. So let's move on to the server route, and here inside that we can just create a new variable with the name result. Inside that we can call server side function from the utils, and we can call this. After that we can give a result to it. After result to it, let's run this particular. So here you can see that when we visit localhost 3000/server route, you press enter. So here you can see the server route and server result. On the control, you can see that server types available there. And here you can see the user multiple library, all the server code you will see over here, and also the server type over there. And if you go to the Visual Studio Code, here you can see in the below, also you can see the information of the server side. Now let's implement this server side function to the client side. So now move on to the client side, and we just want to call with the same. I can control result is equal to server side function, and just call the result inside the server client after root. Okay, so just implement this. Please be confirmed that we have already have server side function which are basically run on the server side, but here we are implementing this inside the client component. Okay, one more thing is that you have to use the used line, because we are using the client component, so it will be take care of that, but it should be our client component. Okay, so let's move on to the client. So let's move on to the browser and visit the logo 3000/client route. Then let's see what we see on the browser. So now let's move on to the browser, and we can type a client route. Press enter over here and close that. So here you can see that client route server result. Okay, the server result are basically coming from the util server file. So here you can see the same console log status which we have provided in the server side function under the util folder. So for this, there is no tag in this on the run. So thing is that this is more important that on the client side we also able to run that server side code which is not in a proper way. So it is maybe lead to some information, touching information to the client side. So in order to do that, we use the server code only package, so that we don't want server code to be inject in the client side code. For this, we have to install a new package with the code server route. Let's move on to the browser. So let's stop our server, and we can install a package with the name npm install server only, and press enter over here. Let's wait for the server only package to be installed. So let me tell you that what this server package do. It will check that the code of server side will not be added on the client side. So for this, now the server has been installed. Now move on to the utils folder where we have server side function. So now here I can press enter over here, and we can import server only code. Okay, so ये server only code I can impact, and which means that it code will be run on the server side. Okay, now let's run our server and command app, and let's check for the server route, and after that we can check for the client route. Okay, so let's move on to the browser. We press enter over here. So here, now we can read server route over here. Okay, server route is basically the route which are adding the server function on their server component. Okay, now here we didn't find any issue, so it is running smoothly and showing the server function message in the console and also the server type. So what if we visit the client route? Then let's move on to the visit client route and press enter over there. So here you can see that we already find an issue, as we are here. You can see that it imports server only package. Here they are saying that page is saying you are importing a component that needs server only. That only works in the server component which is not supported in the page directory, because this because the code which have the utils folder which they have the server code, and we are implementing in the client side. So it give a compile time error, because I already told you the server package show you the server only package a great server only package keep track that the server code cannot be added in the client route. So this is how it protect the server code from the client side code. So to wrap up, Using a server-only package is a great way to keep your server-side code safe. It helps you avoid accidentally importing sensitive code into client component by throwing a build time error. This means your secret keys, database logic, or backend module stay on the server and never reach the browser. Keep your app more secure or your bundle price optimized. Always remember, keep a clear separation between the server and the code. Client code is key to building secure and scalable app. So now for that is for today's video. We have learned why separating server only code from client side code is so important and how server only package can help you catch mistakes early by throwing build time error. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more web development tips and tutorials. Having any question or want to see more on this topic, drop a comment below. I will love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one. Thank you.